Good morning. Welcome to our WIP Wednesday update. I'm coming to you from North Carolina Farm Bureau offices where I'm attending a conference with my colleagues from across the country on environmental issues and legal issues impacting farmers. I'm also joined here with some of the other staff from the other Chesapeake Bay states, and I thought that it might be interesting for you to hear a little bit about their concerns. Lauren is from New York Farm Bureau, John Bell is from Pennsylvania Farm Bureau, and Colby Ferguson is from Maryland Farm Bureau. Lauren, you and I were talking over lunch about how the funding in New York, that you're really unsure, and I know that's a concern in Virginia. Could you share with them a little bit more about what some of y'all's concerns are with regards to the funding?
Yep, so we rely a lot on both state and federal funds to help get us to our WIP goals. And we're kind of concerned with the goals we have to meet. There just isn't enough funding to get us to 2025. So there remains a lot of questions of, are we going to have to rely on our state government or the federal government to allocate those funds to help get us across the finish line?
Absolutely. And John, that kind of leads us into a concern you were sharing with me about 2025. What is when the world's going to happen? Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, I think most people believe that it's going to be really challenging for the Bay States to reach their TMDL goals by 2025. And it really creates a lot of uncertainty. What if the state, like Pennsylvania, doesn't reach its TMDL goal or doesn't even approach attaining TMDL goal by 2025? What's going to happen? What is EPA going to do? What is our DEP going to do? And what are farmers going to be required to do in response to whatever state or federal action or inaction is taken?
Right. I know in Virginia, some of our WIP goals require mandates in our General Assembly if we don't meet these goals, and so those are some of the things we're concerned about. Speaking of concerns, in Maryland, I know that you all already have some mandates, but one of the things that you and I were talking about, Colby, was what in the world is soil health? And then do you have any other concerns that, with regards to Maryland's proposed WIP?
Well, I mean, obviously there's the buzzwords of regenerative ag and soil health and all those terms that are out there, sustainable ag. But in our WIP, and I'm assuming it's in all the other states, is this comprehensive soil health model that is supposed to help agriculture meet some of the water quality goals. And during our discussions as we're of the draft, we asked the question, what is comprehensive soil health? And our Department of Agriculture didn't have an answer. They're basically going to come up with the definition as we go along. And we get one shot at this draft plan to put in our comments, and that's going to be a comment of ours, is that you're asking us to implement something or okay something that you don't have a definition for, and so we're very worried that it could create a definition of a type of agriculture that would be accepted that might not be conventional, that might be more of a regenerative ag or a certified organic or something like that, that would be a mandate. That I don't think it would ever get that far, but it could be a push to incentivize farmers to give up conventional agriculture to take on a regenerative piece. And we don't want to see our cost share funding be allocated to that type of agriculture, which might not necessarily be the most economically sustainable.
Gotcha. Well, talking about issuing comments, in Virginia, we're going to be sending out our action alert later today, and we're going to encourage you to respond to that. They are going to the Department of Environmental Quality, and you really need to use what we're sending out as a template and customize it, add your own comments, add your own perspective from your farming operation. And in those comments, for those that have been following along each week, we've really covered our green and red issues in those comments that we've sent to you. You could add in things from the yellow comments, but since we have a meeting with the Department of Environmental Quality last week, Virginia Farm Bureau will be adding in those items in their comments for yellow. So again, I encourage you to to submit comments to the Department of Environmental Quality by June 7th. And thanks for listening to this week's WIP Wednesday update.